I am recording my fourth video on this same topic before I've even edited the second one, but I just keep having so many thoughts and they're all so interesting to me that I just have to share them. It is entirely up to you whether you listen to these thoughts, and it's entirely up to future me whether I get round to editing these. Today's observation, which was so insane, I'm not only sharing it with you all, I shared it with my German lecturer and with my supervisor in the lab, who's Colombian, and with like two of my friends in different conversations. This morning, I was looking at a table of irregular Spanish verbs, as you do, and I came across the verb contar, and I looked up what contar means. And it has two meanings. It can either be to count, as in literally 1, 2, 3, 4, or to tell a story. First of all, I noticed the connection because the title of a book of parallel texts that I've been reading. Parallel text means like it's got the Spanish story on one side and the English translation on the other. Really cool, really good for learning languages. And the title of this book is Cuentos en Español, short stories in Spanish. I was like, that's clearly connected to the verb contar. That wasn't the insane part about this. That was just a neat little, it all makes sense now. The insane connection is, there's connections between the concepts of counting and telling a story in other languages too. One of which is German, which is why I say this is the fourth video on the same topic that I've made in like a week. Because in German, erzählen is the verb for to tell, as in to tell a story. And zählen is the verb for counting. So those verbs are literally the same apart from a prefix, a short 2-letter prefix. And in Spanish, they are exactly the same verb. So clearly something's going on. But I'm not finished yet, because in a brilliant full circle moment, a book that I got given like 10 years ago when I was new to learning German, and which is from the exact same series and the same publisher as the book I just mentioned, Cuentos en Español. The German one is called Erzählungen auf Deutsch. Same vibe of the title and same phenomenon of a verb or a connection in the verbs used to describe counting and telling stories. But I'm not done even now, because in English we have the verb to recount. To recount a story, to recount the events of the evening, is to tell a story. And it has the verb count in it, just like Erzählungen has the verb zählen in it, and just like contar means both. All three modern European languages that I speak have a really direct connection between the verbs for counting and telling a story. And I don't have some like grand etymological answer to this. I haven't looked it up. Maybe I should. I definitely should, actually. But I'm just absolutely fascinated by this discovery. I'm telling everyone right now. If you know me in real life, there's a decent chance I've already told you. So sorry if you're hearing this for the second time. I just find it insane. I was like, whoa, like all three languages have basically the same thing. One of my friends suggested that it could be because like the earliest forms of writing would have been means of like keeping track of numbers, like, you know, the bone math. What am I talking about? You know how they use like bones to keep track of transactions or something, and he was saying that could be connected with like the earliest written stories. My counter to that was, but there were stories long before that because of like oral history and stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean he was wrong. That was just my sort of skepticism. But either way, it's a really cool connection. I would love to know more about this.